Welcome, y'all, today to the One Back Breakdown Show. Today we have a really exciting guest, someone who's coached at the Power 5 level and Texas 6A high school football, and someone who just brings a lot of insight to wide receiver play in the modern RPO game. So today's guest is Murphy Roberts. He spent the 23 and 24 seasons at Oklahoma State as an assistant wide receivers coach, worked at a high-level FBS program, coached guys like Leon Johnson with the Chargers, Brandon Presley with the Rams, Rashad Owens with the Bengals. After his time in Stillwater, he went to the East Central where he coached defensive ends in the spring of 2025. And now he's back in Texas as the slot receivers coach and assistant recruiting coordinator at Lake Highlands High School, which is one of the top 6A programs in the state. At Lake Highlands, he's already coached multiple all-district guys, which is really impressive when you look at their district. So today he's going to walk us through a topic that everybody is talking about right now and is wondering about: perimeter blocking on RPOs. So how do RPOs and perimeter blocking work in modern offenses? How can we instill and install these perimeter RPO concepts? And what drills can we use to teach receivers to block in space? And so we're going to get to look at real practice and game film from Oklahoma State, Lake Highlands, and see exactly how to do it. So, Coach, floor is yours. Welcome, Coach Murphy Roberts.
Grant, I appreciate you, and I appreciate One Back for having me. This is exciting. Perimeter RPOs is something that that I don't know why I'm passionate about it though, and I feel like a lot of people, are don't know the ways to do it. And by no means am I saying I know the ways to do it, but I learned from one of the best in Coach Dunn, Casey Dunn, and I feel like if more people knew how to do it, his rules that he implemented, it would make a lot of lives easier, and it relieves a lot of stress. It especially does here at Lake Highlands. We've implemented it this season, and it's done great things for us. So without further ado, perimeter blocking in the RPO game. So first, you can see RPO and the perimeter, or the goal of a perimeter RPO. So everybody knows this. This is nothing new. An RPO is the post-snap read of a specific defender's reaction to take advantage offensively of numbers in space. Okay, and then the goal of a perimeter RPO, when this ball is thrown to the perimeter, we're going to try to get that ball to the 5x1. What is the 5x1? The 5x1 is going to be 5 yards up the field, 1 yard inside of the sidelines, okay, away from the trash. What is the trash? Trash is going to be the extra 8 defenders or so that are closer to the box. Okay, so we're trying to get away from that. This is an attack of on the perimeter of the field. All right, so some do's and don'ts. We do want to teach our players, our receivers, to read the most dangerous defender, MDM, most dangerous man, most dangerous defender. Really quickly, too, to preface this, you're going to see things that are underlined and bolded. Anything that's underlined and bolded is terminology that I actively use, and we actively use at Lake Highlands with our players. So first off, we do want to teach players how to read the most dangerous defender. Pre-snap perception is not post-snap reality. That's a big thing. Pre-snap perception is not post-snap reality. Everybody knows, defenses like to disguise things. All right, so don't have predetermined assigned blocks. We don't want to have our receivers going out there thinking and honed in on a specific defender to go block. Okay, do teach players to play patient and learn to anchor down and absorb. Don't teach players to chase a defender, and then do help your players understand there is more than one way to win your perimeter block. All right, so getting into the meat and potatoes, steps of perimeter blocking. Like I just said, MDM, most dangerous man. We're going to call it an MDM block. So the first thing we're going to do is bucket step. We're going to bucket step attacking the 1x1. What is the 1x1? It's going to be 1 yard in front and 1 yard outside of where that ball is expected to be caught. Okay, number 2, we're going to dissect the defensive reaction while playing basketball. And then you see UAP right there. What does UAP mean? Anybody that is familiar with Performance Course, that's a big strength and conditioning program that rolls through Texas during the summer and a little bit in Oklahoma. UAP means Universal Athletic Position. Okay, so I'm going to be on the balls of my feet. Okay, I'm going to have a slight bend in my knees, big chest, arms out, ready to move around like I'm about to shuffle, right? Playing defense in basketball. Okay, next, be prepared to show presence. That's going to be in a 3x1 set. Okay, then we're going to bite and strike the most dangerous defender. Okay, and last, we're going to work our hat placement from a 2 to a 3. And I'm going to go in depth of all of this. And then really quickly, just to preface this, like as you guys see this tape, as you see, the drills, the game tape, there's bits and pieces of this that marry together. Everything's going to marry together. Everything's going to look a little bit similar. Okay, so starting out with a bucket step. What is a bucket step? It's a negative step going flat down the line of scrimmage. Nothing groundbreaking. Everybody knows what that is. Okay, the idea behind that is I'm going to lose ground to gain leverage. Okay, I'm going to try to eliminate the kick step. I call it a kick step, false step, that whole thing, and then aim for the 1x1. Once again, what's the 1x1? That 1x1 is 1 yard in front and outside of where that ball is expected to be caught. All right, and this is a huge thing down at the bottom, this last point. I can lose someone underneath. I can lose someone underneath. I can lose someone underneath. I freaking hammer that on my guys. Like, you can lose somebody underneath. That's okay, and you'll see why here later on. So here's a quick diagram, right? So we're going to have the ball in the middle of the field. Okay, that's the square. So on the left side, you're going to have a 2x2 set. Okay, and you can see this X receiver, if it's a bubble screen, this X receiver is going to bucket step, lose ground to gain leverage, and work to that 1x1, 1 yard outside and in front of where that ball is supposed to be caught. And then you can see down here, or up here, further up top, you can see the 5x1 is marked, right? That's 5 yards up the field, 1 yard inside of the sideline. Okay, now on the right side, okay, bubble screen once again, and you can see we got 2 receivers, right? The Y and the Z, number 1 and number 2, are both working outside to that 1x1. So here's some drill tape. This is, just walkthrough kind of stuff. This right here is actually a soccer dummy. It's not used for football, but I love using this thing because it serves as like a person. It's vertical, it's standing. Okay, I use it for releases all the time. I think it's great. But really, for the purpose for this drill is just to serve as a landmark. Okay, so you can see right here, okay, we're in a 2x2 set, right? Our base alignment is going to be +2 off the hash if we're in a 2x2 set. Okay, and I just want to see an elimination of that kick step, right? So we don't kick step here. That's fine. We open up, we get out. Okay, and all I'm looking for here is the guys to just understand, like as I'm doing this, as I'm going through this perimeter block, I am not working upfield. I just want them to get used to that path. That's all this is. Okay, so you got a couple reps here of guys doing it. Okay, working outside, working to that 1x1. Okay, and now we're going to throw a body into it. Once again, it's the same drill, but with this body, right, you can actually get hands-on. Once again, this drill is not for them to actually get into the nitty-gritty meat and potatoes of blocking technique. I just want them to focus on that path of a bucket step and working flat down the line. Okay, so let's start out with some game tape right here. The first thing I want to say as this clip starts, okay, I mentioned earlier, pre-snap perception is not post-snap reality. Okay, so right here, this corner is pressed up. So my antennas go up. I'm like, oh, shoot, this corner's right here. Okay, I'm thinking I got to block him. What happens right when the ball snapped? I'm out. I'm bailing. Okay, so that's why I tell the guys pre-snap perception is not post-snap reality. Okay, I don't necessarily need to go and attack this guy right now. Okay, he's not an immediate threat. He's bailing. He's getting out of there. Okay, and so you'll notice the outside receiver here, we're running a bubble here by number 2. Okay, the outside receiver here does not take this bucket step. Okay, what does he do? He goes and he gains ground and he's vertical the whole time. Okay, by him not taking this bucket step and not getting to the 1x1, the perimeter is not secure. The perimeter is not secure. Our goal is the 5x1, about right here. That is our goal. Okay, so by us not taking the bucket step, not securing that perimeter, that allows a free lane for this defender to come down here and make the tackle. Okay, so off rip, outside receiver, we have got to bucket step with that outside foot, bucket step, and get to this 1x1. Okay, that's going to put us in the best position to absorb whatever attacks us. All right, so the next clip you can see up top, we don't throw the ball here. A few of these clips we don't throw the ball, but I just want y'all to see like how the guys are moving. Okay, so 3/2 up top, we're in a stack set. Okay, and you can see the receiver at the top of the stack. Okay, he's just working to that 1x1. He's working lateral. I'm not chasing anybody. A lot of people think RPOs go attack, go attack, go attack, go attack, go attack. No. Just like the quarterback is reading the defense, as a receiver, we're reading it too. We're reading it too. We're playing solely off of their reaction. But, you don't throw it when you have guys that can do this in the backfield. Okay, next clip. We got a bunch set down here at the bottom. And like I said earlier on, all these clips marry together, all the terminologies, you'll see them all mesh together, as we get further along in this. Okay, so the point, all right, and number 3 in the bunch, what are we doing? We are working outside to that 1x1. We're securing the outside, not attacking anybody. That's a perfect rep. But once again, we've got running backs like this, hand the ball off. But no, really good rep. He stole the thunder. I thought it was a good, really good look. Okay, so getting into some film from Oklahoma State. Okay, let's focus down here on the bottom of the screen. So we're going to motion to a 3-receiver set. That back coming across the backfield makes the 3-receiver set. Okay, notice we're blocking down here. Okay, what are we doing? We're not attacking anybody. Not attacking anybody. Okay, I'm working freaking flat. I'm working flat to that 1x1. We are both getting to that 1x1. This is a picture perfect rep, and like how they finished that, you'll see in a little bit, why that's so beautiful. But man, if we catch that ball, that's good execution. Like we have that goal of the 5x1. Who is out there? Who is out there? Okay, so that's why we tell our guys to bucket step, work outside, play patient. Okay, so now getting to the next point, basketball. Okay, we say this to use the imagery of playing defense in basketball. All right, I'm covering around vertical and lateral in a UAP, universal athletic position. Okay, I'm going to make sure my eyes are downfield. I'm reading the defense because once again, pre-snap perception is not post-snap reality. All right, during this phase, I am not chasing. I'm not going to chase anybody. All right, and last thing, you saw it on the last slide for bucket step. I can lose someone underneath. Always know I can lose somebody underneath. Okay, so once again, walk through kind of drill. Okay, so right here, we're again going to be in a 2x2 set. Okay, this is half field, right? But it's a 2 high shell, right? 2 safety shell. This is going to be a quarters, cover 2 look, depending on how you call it, depending on who you are, right? But all I'm doing is I'm going to have this guy bucket step once again, and then him playing basketball is that transition from that bucket step to when he squares up, and now his eyes are downfield reading who's most dangerous to that 1x1. So this clip, this first one, I'm not having the guys move. Okay, so it's an easy decision for the receiver. He can read it out. Okay, him playing basketball, though, I'd like him to start playing basketball a little bit earlier. He doesn't really throw down and come to balance and get in that UAP. He kind of just runs. Okay, but he deciphers as he's moving across the field. He deciphers who the most dangerous man to that 1x1 is in this picture. Okay, so right here, we're going to change up the look a little bit. Okay, I'm rolling the safety down now. I'm going to a cover 3 look. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm playing basketball. When he gets right here, I wish he wasn't crossing his feet so much. You can really see it right there. He starts to throttle down and starts to move lateral like he's playing defense in basketball. Okay. Corner, I guess you could say, is low in this picture pre-snap. Pre-snap perceptions, not post-snap reality. I keep saying that. I got to give credit where credit's due. I got that from Wisconsin Oshkosh. They were at the AFCA a year ago, 2 years ago, and they brought that up, and I loved it. And I've used it ever since. But yeah, right here. Okay, what is our receiver doing right here? I'm picking up the most dangerous man to that 1-by-1. Here you go. Here's another clip. This is the best clip that I got of this drill. I don't know what this guy's doing to the right. They're high school kids and they mess around. Okay, so true quarters look, right? Safety's going to bail, corner's going to bail. Okay, and what I did was I had them both trigger at the same time. You can see both DBs triggering at the same time. Look at the receiver, perfect basketball position. And what I want you to notice is his eyes. Look at his eyes. You can see his eyes are going back and forth. Crap. His eyes are going back and forth between both defenders. Right here, you can see it. Bam, 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 bam. Okay? And he goes and he picks up that most dangerous defender to that 1-by-1. What did I say earlier? I said it in the bucket step slide and in the basketball slide. I can lose somebody underneath. If our goal is to get to the 5-by-1, where have I lost this guy? Underneath. Why do I say that? Dude, good luck working around that and running the freaking hoop. Like, all the power to you if you can do that. Like, you should be making the play. One more look at it. I don't want to say one more, but here's another look at it. Okay, another cover 3 look. I'm going to take that most dangerous defender. Okay, you can see as we transition right here and start playing basketball. Bam. Okay, so here's another drill. Right, this is a little bit of a competition drill. Okay, we did this at OSU. I'm going to have a bag back here. Okay, and it's one-on-one. Okay, this DB is going to pedal a little bit. Okay, simulating a ball is thrown. You can even have a receiver back there or a quarterback acting like he's throwing the ball at the bag. The bag simulates the receiver. Okay, so DB is going to pedal. He's going to see the ball thrown, and he's going to drive. Okay, receiver's job is to throw down, get in that basketball position, and really start to understand. This is a good drill for helping the guys understand, how they move in their UAP, right? Everybody's UAP is going to have is going to be a little bit different, right? But this is a really good drill to get them to understand that, gets them working on leverage, all different things, getting ahead of myself because I'm going to talk about leverage a little bit later on. But, man, I love this drill because it gets competition going, and I'm a big fan of competition. Once again, things marrying together. You're going to see a lot of different steps in this specific drill. But the basketball portion of this drill, right, is going to be when he gets over this pad, okay, and he's straddling that pad, his feet, how they're spread apart in a universal athletic position, and he's working up the pad. Right, so you're going to see a bucket step in this specific drill. You're going to see a bite and strike when he engages with the medicine ball. Okay, but what I'm concerned about here is that movement up the pad. Okay, you want to make sure that we're slow and controlled. Okay, I'm chopping my feet, and I'm not just full blown going. Okay, because this drill, right, all of this is patience, patience, patience. Okay, you can see right here, hands aren't the best, right? But we'll get to that a little bit later on. Really good right there. Really good. Moving vertical in that UAP. Vertical in that UAP. Okay, I mentioned it earlier. This is what I try to eliminate with the bucket step. Notice how this foot jabs inside to go outside, right? It's just a false step. I call it a kick step. Okay, right here. No, don't want that. Don't want that. And it's hard to get the kids out of this. You just got to teach them, right? They can fluctuate the weight in their feet within their stance, okay? And just really harp on them and really, really try to get them to just, all you can do is pick that back foot up. Just pick that back foot up. Okay, but there's the basketball portion, okay? And right here, you can see I lunged too far with that step, right? I get out of my frame of work with that step. I'm lunging. Okay, so we're going to start out with a poor example. This was in Colorado in 24, sorry. Okay, so let's look at the number 2 receiver right here. Okay, and there's a few things wrong with this, when looking at all the steps of perimeter blocking, but let's talk about the basketball portion. You don't see him ever really try to play basketball. Like, he's not reading things out. You can see right here, he's honed in on one guy the whole time. We're not reading things out. We said we wanted to read things out. Okay, he's not reading things out. Okay, and I'm going to attack right now, and whoop, right? I get slipped underneath. And where can I lose somebody? We talked about that. Where can I lose somebody? I can lose them underneath. Can't lose them off the top. All right, so here's another clip. You'll see it up at the top, right? And like I said, all of these things marry together. Okay, like I could use this for the bucket step clip, right? All these things marry together. So at the top, we don't throw the ball here, but you can see both these receivers are playing patient. They're in that UAP. They're playing defense on basketball in this clip right here. Really good. Really good. Okay, down at the bottom, right here, the perimeter receiver. Watch this. I'm not going to attack that corner. I'm not full-blown sprinting at that corner. No. I'm playing basketball. I'm going to let him show up to me. Okay, look at the UAP I'm in. That's good. I can go either way. He goes inside. Okay, let him go inside. He goes outside. I can adjust. I just push out. I shuffle out. Okay, we're in a good position there. Good UAP. Okay, got to the 1-by-1 as well. So both boxes checked. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about this one. Okay, so we're up the top, 3 receiver set. Okay, so the slot receiver, number 2. Okay, watch this. I'm going to bucket step. I got a kick step, right? In game. Don't want it to happen, but, it happened, right? Sometimes things happen. Okay, watch this. I'm not going to attack anybody. I'm really down in my UAP. I'm really down in my universal athletic position, right? So that's really good by the slot receiver. Okay, now I would like for him to not turn in so much. Like, he's turned in a whole lot right here. I'd like for him to stay more square. That way I can have my eyes, inside to see if anything's going to come and attack me, but also outside to see if anything's going to hit that alley. But really good universal athletic position. And then if you look up top, okay, at the very top, number 1, okay, you can see where number 1 is just chasing. I'm chasing. If this guy's going to show up late to the party, let him have at it. Let him have at it. And the reason I say that is number 1 could be right here on the same level as number 2, and we can work a whole lot better together in that picture. All right, this is probably my favorite clip of basketball. Okay, so this is funny. Number 2 right here, that's Brennan Presley. He's playing for the Rams right now. 5'8", 162, dripping wet. Sorry if you see this, Brennan. I'm sure you won't. But Brennan right here is supposed to get the ball, because we're in a bad position if we're playing college football and we're letting a 5'8", 160-pounder block, right? So he's supposed to be getting the ball, and you can see his eyes are back at the quarterback, waiting for the ball. But, man, we motioned Ollie out early, and we decided to throw it to him. Okay, so I'll roll it back to the start. And watch Brennan. Ball does not get thrown to him. Ball does not get thrown to the slot up top, okay? I don't panic, right? I don't panic. Part of basketball is what? I mentioned this in that first slide. It's dissecting the defense, okay? He doesn't panic. He gets his eyes downfield, stays in that UAP, and then goes and engages. Okay, what's our goal? 5-by-1. It's what, 2nd and 5? I think we get it. Okay, but all in all, right? Brennan, I love this clip so much because Brennan does not panic. Number 2 up top does not panic. Okay, he stays in this basketball position in that UAP, and he goes, and all 162 pounds of him are freaking fighting. Okay, next clip. All right, we're going to have a receiver up top motioning across the formation. So what happens when somebody motions across the formation like that? What we tell our guys is just leave the most outside defender for whoever's motioning across the formation. We're not telling them to move in a man, right? Because we don't like predetermined blocks, because that gets guys chasing, and that's when you miss. as opposed to, reading things out and playing patient. So you can see here at the bottom, okay, we'll focus on number 1 at the bottom first. Okay, you can see he starts to work inside right, and we're gonna bucket step all the times unless we have this guy coming across the formation. We're leaving the most outside man. Okay, and he ends up getting the corner. Now, does he attack the corner? No, you can see he doesn't. He's working inside. He just collects that corner. Okay, so really good job there by him. And then let's look at number 2 at the bottom. Okay, I want to focus right here. Start to watch him right here. This guy, this cat. I'm playing basketball. Look at that freaking UAP. That's great. That's great. Freaking great work. Okay, so we're all good. All across the board. All right. So the next part, showing presence. Okay, showing presence is in 3x1 sets. Okay, it is when 2 receivers are securing 1 defensive back while working to the next defender. Okay, so for us, we want to make sure that we are keeping hands on that defender, the guy that is showing presence. We want to keep hands on the defender that's getting secured, but keep our eyes downfield for anything that's showing up late. Showing presence is a feel thing. Oftentimes, it plays out different to different looks. Once again, I can lose someone underneath. Okay, so two diagrams once again. So to the left side, okay, we got a bunch set, right? We're going to press the point. Okay, so the point, the H, he's going to take that bucket step. He's going to secure the 1x1, the outside of that defender. Okay, so the Y here in this picture is working around the H, okay? And as he works around the H, he's going to get hands on the H, or hands on the guy that's pressing the H. Okay, he's going to keep his eyes downfield, and he's going to collect whoever shows up next to that 1x1. Okay, and then to the right side. All right, we don't like working inside on perimeter screens. We want a bucket step. But let's look at this picture. Okay, if I have a high FBI, if I have a high football IQ, I can see if I'm the Z receiver, my corner is in this picture what? 7-8 yards off. Okay, and the safety is very low on number 2. So who is the most immediate threat, right? I got to have my antennas up. Okay, so the Z receiver can work slowly and help secure that block with that Y, get his hands on that safety with his eyes downfield, waiting for whoever shows up late to the party. Okay, so let's get into some drills. Starting out with like a walkthrough kind of drill. Okay, you can see we're missing a receiver here. Just pretend it's me running the now screen. Okay, so the H receiver, our H receiver, the point is going to secure the first defender. Okay, and we're going to loop around. I'm going to get my hands on. I would like eyes to be around quicker. Okay, and then I'm going to work off to the guy that shows up late to the party. Okay, so the next clip, here it is. Bam, right there. We're moving a little bit faster here. Okay, so I'm going to secure that first guy pressing the point. Get hands on. Let's see him get hands on. Boom, hands on. Boom, eyes upfield. Bam, taking the next guy that shows up. Okay, so let's look at some game tape. This clip is beautiful. Okay, so 12 personnel, we're going to motion FIB. Okay, we got bunch set to the boundary. We're going to run a now screen. Or sorry, not a now screen, a bubble screen, number 3. Okay, we got the bucket step down by both the tight ends. Bam, look at that. We're getting to the 1x1 by both the tight ends. Look at that. Okay, and you can see we're going to secure that first guy, the guy that's pressing the point, the guy closest to the point, okay? We're securing that. And then we're going to work off late to the guy that shows up late to the party. And then it's off to the races. Okay, let's look at the butt angle. Butt angle will give you all a really good picture. Okay, so we're going to motion FIB, drop the back. Okay, boom, ball snapped. What's awesome about this, and I can go on a whole tangent about this, but I'll stay out of it. Okay, so the stripe on the helmet, you can see where these guys' eyes are looking. So 40 is looking right at this guy over top of him. Okay, 38, you can see his stripe is slightly angled to where he's looking also at this guy. Okay, you can see 38's hand. It's ready to make sure that this block is secured by number 40. And then 38 falls off late to the guy that shows up late to the party. If you're going to be late, we ain't going to worry about you. We're going to fall off late. We're going to get you. Okay, and this is also a great clip for why we're going to lose somebody underneath. Watch this guy. Freaking D1 athlete. Good luck running the hoop. We're going to take the most dangerous man to the 1-by-1. Okay, so let's look at this clip. We don't throw the ball here, but you can see, okay, we're motioning across the formation. We're going to run a little orbit screen. All right, so let's look up top. First of all, I want to emphasize how great of a freaking bucket step this is. Let's watch that. Look at that. Okay, but you can see both these receivers up top, right? We are both honed in on this guy, okay, right here. And then you can see we're number 1 up top. He's got his hand on this DB right here, okay? And now he's ready to work off and get this guy who shows up late to the party. Obviously, we don't throw it. Let's see. It's not going to be in the butt angle because it's on the other side. Okay, this clip, this one still irks me. This one still gets to me. This is beautiful. Okay, 3 over 3. I look at the numbers. 1, 2, 3. He's close to the box. He ain't going to make the play. Okay, 3 over 3. Let's watch the point. Boom, he secures it, right? We're good. We're good right there. Okay, let's look at number 3. He's working around, okay? He gets hands on. We're good. 1-on-1. Mano y mano. Our goal is the 5-by-1, and he cut inside. The butt angle shows a really good the butt angle, shows that it would have been a huge gain. Okay, so we get out here. You can see the point is secured. Number 3 has successfully looped around. You can see his hand is on, and his eyes are downfield. 1-on-1. Look where this freaking safety is. I mean, he's +2 off the hash right now. If he gets hands on here, he goes out here. I mean, strike up the band. Okay, bite and strike. Bite and strike. So bite, I am hitting with my face. I'm hitting with my face mask. My face mask is going to engage with the face mask of the DB. What I always say eyebrows to chin strap. That way, you're getting low, good leverage point, eyebrows to chin strap. That's the defender's chin strap. All right, strike. Hands are going to be tight. Hands are going to be tight. My elbows are going to be in. Think about like a close grip bench press. Hands are tight, elbows in, and thumbs up as I block. I'm working to get underneath that chest plate. Excuse me. A big term that I use. Sorry, it's not bolded or underlined. Guns in the holster. Keep your guns in the holster. Like if you got 6 shooters. Feet are important here. Make sure just like basketball. I'm telling you guys, it all marries together. Just like basketball, make sure you have a wide base and anchor down. Wait, sorry, no, I read that wrong. Feet are important here. Make sure you have a wide base and anchor down. B-E-B. B-E-B. What do I mean by that? The guys love it. They laugh all the time. Big elephant balls. Block it like you got some big elephant balls. If you got big elephant balls, you ain't walking, you ain't standing straight up walking normally. Like you're gonna have some straddle to you, Okay, last point. We're looking for triple extension, right? Ankle, knee, and hip. Okay, so think power clean, right? Power clean. You want triple extension. You want that ankle, knee, and hip to extend and then get under the bar. Okay, so here's the first drill for it. Okay, so you're gonna see we're gonna have the receivers. Okay, they're going to be on their heels. Their toes are going to be dug into the turf. They're going to sit back on their heels. Okay, they're going to have their hands right at their hips. All right, and then we're just going to have them strike the pad. Bam, right there. So let's look at this. What are my thumbs doing? Are my thumbs up? Yes, boom. First point, checked off. Okay, let's look at the extension. So I started with ankles. I go ankles, knee, hip, ankles, knee, hip. Okay, so he's not going to get full extension in this picture because the wall and the pad, it doesn't have enough give. Okay, but you can see he's getting there with his ankle extension, right? He's bam, bam. Ankle extension is getting there. Okay, knee extension is almost there. Okay. And what tells us if he has hip extension is he squeezing his butt cheeks together. All right. So this is a really good rep. Let me undo this so you can see the full rep. No, my fault. Bam, right there, really good rep. And you can have him hold it, for a 2 count. Boom, really good rep again. Okay, now you can see I'm telling him about the 6 shooters. Okay, so he's got the guns in the holster. Okay, bam, and so during this drill, right, you want them to think that they're like a spring that is freaking compact, and everything's got to shoot at the same time, right? My ankle, my hip, my knees, and my hip, those are extended at the same time, as well as my hands. Everything is happening at once. Obviously, we can't implement the face portion into this because we don't have a helmet on. The bite portion, excuse me. Okay, so this guy was his first time doing the drill. Okay, you can see he doesn't really understand. So we are sitting back on our heels at this point. Okay, I don't like his hands right here, and this is so a lot of young cats do this. Okay, you can see his rock back right here. He's gonna sit back right there to get out. I don't want that. What did I say? It's like a spring. I'm super compact, and bam, I just explode at once. There's another clip of it. He's gonna do the same thing. See, rock back. Boom, rock back. Okay, now right here, I'm sitting on my heels. Everything's loaded up. Bam. Okay, but I've got a little bit of a rock back. Okay, but what I don't like here is how he brings the hands, right? So first, we had the hips rocking back. Now, I've got the hands rocking back. Okay, I want to eliminate that. I want to do what I can to eliminate that. I want everything to come at once. So it's a little bit better. Like you can tell the difference between this rep and that rep. He doesn't bring him back as far. Okay, so here's another drill. All right, this is the drill that just 5-man sled. Everybody does this, O-line, D-line, freaking everybody, okay? So in this drill, it allows you to implement the face portion of it, right? The bite portion, okay? So right here, you can see it on a few of the guys, okay? You want to make sure you tell them to keep their face up, right? I'm hitting with my face mask, not the crown of my helmet, okay? So face up, okay? And this allows you to understand leverage because that pad, you push it in and it moves up, right? So let's look at these guys' hands. All of our thumbs are pointed up. All of our thumbs are pointed up under that breastplate, right? And then let's look at the feet, okay? What did I say? B-E-B, big elephant balls. B-E-B, big elephant balls. It's pretty good, right? And these are just simple everyday drills you can do with your guys to help them, understand and get better at perimeter blocking. Now, is this perimeter blocking per se? No, but this helps you understand how to bite and strike. All right, so here's another drill we did. I didn't do this at OSU. This was before I was there. Probably can't do it anymore with the physicality of it, but there's ways to alter it, right, to where it's a little bit less physical. But I love this drill because it helps the guys understand leverage. Like low man is always going to win. Low man is always going to win. And I said it earlier with that sit drill. Okay, competition. Let's get the juices flowing. Okay, really good drill, board drill. It forces your feet to be wide with those boards right there. Okay, low man's always going to win. All right, so let's look here. Okay, so you can see at the bottom. Okay, we're in a stack set. The number one receiver up top. Okay, he is going to work to the 1-by-1, and you can see like this, his tempo here is a little bit different than it has been. Okay, I'm rushing here. It looks like I'm rushing here. Okay, I'm not playing patient enough. Okay, so let's watch him strike. He doesn't really look ready. Okay, you can see his pad level, and he's a tall guy. This guy's about 6'4", so it's tough. I get it, but you got to get down there by any means. Bam, by any means. Okay, so he gets he gets the DB's chin strap, or DB's eyebrows to his chin strap. So he's getting the knockback, and you can see right here, like his feet come off the ground and it gets blown up. Okay. Ankle, knee, hips, hands, all got to come at the same time. And I've got to bite, bite. See if we can see it from this angle. No, not as much. It already happened. Yeah, you can see a little bit, like right here. You can kind of see. No, you really can't. Okay, so let's look at this clip. All right, so this guy right here, freaking phenomenal athlete, great athlete. We want to work. Are we good? Loading. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's watch him. Okay, his feet off rip, right? He doesn't bucket step. You can call it what it is, but right now we're just focusing on that bite and strike. And part of the bite and strike is my feet. Okay, his feet, bad, right? He doesn't have wide feet, so he loses off rip. Okay, secondly, let's look at his leverage. Okay, he's taller than that defender the whole time. What did I say? When I bite, it's got to be my eyebrow to his chin strap, and I'm hitting with my face mask. Strike could be more violent too. Can't really see it from that angle. Okay, so here's a clip from OSU. Okay, I want to focus on this receiver down here. Right, so he's pushing upfield. Okay, but we're playing basketball. We're pushing upfield, playing basketball. And watch this strike. Watch this initial strike. That's a bite. Hitting with my face mask. Okay. Hand strike. Now, I would like hands to be inside a little bit more. I'd like his hands inside a little bit more, but look at his feet. Okay. Now, he falls off. He does. But initially, that's really good. The only thing I would say about that is his hands like bear hug him, and I'd like a bam, inside. Okay, next point, leverage terminology. Okay, I love this. So you can see in this picture right here, you got the Michigan State wide receiver. Okay, he's looking inside, insinuating the ball is inside. Okay, if I'm looking at a defender that is over top of me, the defender's inside shoulder or the shoulder closest to the ball, we term that a 1. Okay, head up, we term that a 2. And then outside shoulder, we term that a 3. Okay, so leverage terminology, a little bit more on it. Okay, so we are aiming to work our hat, our helmet, our hat placement from a 2. So head up from a 2 to a 3. So I want my hat to go head up when I bite and strike, okay, and finish at a 3. I want my head to go outside of him. Okay, what does this do? This secures the 5x1, 5 yards up the field, 1 yard inside the sideline, away from the trash. Reminder, the trash is the extra 8 defenders that are closer to the box. Okay, I want to stay away from them. All right, and this next point goes into what I said in one of the earlier slides about there's more than one way to win. Why? Because if a defender maintains outside leverage, okay, if you cannot get your hat to that 3, you are not done. Use his momentum to wash him out. All right, and then this last point. So leverage points 1, 2, and 3 are mirrored depending on which side of the ball you are on. Okay, so that inside shoulder, whether you're on the left side or the right side, that inside shoulder is always going to be a 1, shoulder closest to the ball. Head up is always going to be 2, and then that DB shoulder that's closest to the sideline is always going to be 3. Okay, so let's look at this first clip. We'll look down at the bottom. Okay, so number 1, down at the bottom. Okay, let's watch him. Okay, I'm going to strike. Maybe not the best strike. I might be lunging a little bit. But watch. I'm going to secure that 3. You see how I secure that outside? It's a really good job by number 1. Okay, let's look at number 2. Okay, number 2 loses him, right? That DB just shoots over top. Okay, but, this is an effort thing. Like, try to get your guys, if they get in a position like this is a long way for a tight end to run. This is a big dude. Try to get them to like, turn their shoulder and run like this. That way they don't have hands on pushing him out, to where you can get a holding call. Try to get him, to get their back to his face, if they can cut him off. But you can see he's trying to wash him out because that's what he was taught to do. Let's see if we got a butt angle of this. Okay, so you can see the tight end, right? So what I'm saying is like this back arm that's right here, try to shoot that back arm in front of the DB, okay, and put your back plate to that DB, just cutting him off, okay? But look right here. Look at number 1. Boom, right here. Look at this guy, okay? He is working to that 3. So out here, right, I might have messed up right here, but out here, that 5x1 is freaking secured. All right, this one, freaking beautiful clip. So let's look up top. Okay, we'll start out with number 2. I'm gonna bucket step. I'm gonna play basketball. Boom, strike at a 2. Can't get to a 3, but I'm working there. Okay, let's look at number 1. Boom, strike at a 2. Fight, get to a 3. Bam, money. Okay, yeah, you can say the DB got that leverage back later on, but what's our goal? What is our goal? If we go back to the basics, if we look at, you know, the basics of a perimeter RPO, if we're going to throw the ball, we're trying to get to the 5x1. If you can get to the 5x1, you're in freaking good company. That's great. If you can get 5 yards every time on an RPO, throw it. Right? So he that DB might fall off late, but when you're grading this guy, you know, I think that's pretty good because we get to that 5x1 and he initially secures that 2 to the 3. Okay. Right? What is it? What is it right here? 1st and 10, we get what? 12 yards? Freaking money. Okay, let's see if we got a butt angle. So we throw the screen. Bam, look at the tight end. Look at number 40. Fight and fight and fight and fight. Okay. I don't have that 3 necessarily secured. Okay, so I'm gonna wash him out. Okay, let's look at number 10. Can you see him? Okay, boom. That 3 secured right there. Okay, you can see he's fighting. Late, that DB comes over top, but we're already past the 5x1 at that point. Okay, next clip. We'll look down here at the bottom. Okay, we're going to have 3 receiver set. Number 2 is going to run the now screen. Okay, so let's watch this. All right, it'll be easier to kind of see it from the butt angle. All right, so right here, right in this portion of the talk, okay, we're just talking about striking from a 2 to a 3. Okay, so let's look at this picture. Bam, pause it. Okay, so number 1, does not have the 3 secured, right? DB maintained, contained, right? So what am I doing now? Doing everything I can to watch this guy out. Okay, but look at the tight end right here. Okay, tight end right here. He's got 3 contained, so he's freaking blocking him that way, right? He's securing that 5x1. 5x1 is not completely secured because number 1, but tight end's doing his job securing that 5x1, parting the freaking Red Seas, right? Look at that. That's good. Get about 5 yards there. Okay, so we're rolling. If you get 5 yards on RPO, you're in good company. Let's skip a play. No. Okay, so let's look up top. All right, right here, we don't throw the ball. Okay, but you can see number 1. All right, what would I change maybe a little bit? Okay, I'm kind of attacking. I'm working really fast off the ball. I like to bucket step a little bit more, play a little bit more basketball, you know, read it out. Okay, but bam, bite and strike might not be the best. Don't get super low, but I secure that outside shoulder. Okay, I secure that 3. That 5x1 right there is open. Okay, but as I said, if you got a really good running back, I mean, just let that dude go to work. Running over everybody. That's a grown man run. Sorry, I want to watch it again. I know this isn't a running back clinic, but grown man run. He's going to SMU. So, okay, one of my favorite clips. So, let's talk about these guys for a second. All right, the guy that is the point, 5'8". I think now he might be 170. He was definitely in the 160s when he was playing. Okay, and then the guy that's number 3. Love him to death. He's about to go play for the Millsaps Majors. Okay, 5'5", if I'm being generous. 125, dripping wet. All right, so you can see him. We're both bucket stepping, both playing basketball. All right, and we are fighting to secure that 3. And I'll get to the butt angle. I'll break it down a little bit more. But look, what's our goal? What's our goal? 5 yards. We want to get to the 5x1. Okay, where are we getting? 15 yards down the field. All right, so let's look at the point first. So the point initially gets knocked back. I'll restart it for y'all. Let's look at the point first. He initially, okay, gets knocked back a little bit, okay? But he fights to make sure that he maintains that 3, and he gets that 3 just long enough for the outside receiver to work outside to the 5x1. Okay, so let's look at number 3 now. Okay, and I told you I'm not a fan of completely turning your body. Don't do that, right? I want you to be able to see everything around you. Okay, but he gets the 3 of the next most dangerous defender, and all 125 pounds of him get knocked back, but he gets that 3. He gets that 3 right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. I hope y'all can. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. It's kind of blurry. But look, this guy right here. Boom, right here. Okay. He takes it head on, gets knocked back, and then he keeps working for more people. See, oh yeah, this one will be better. Y'all be able to see it more. Okay, so boom. Let's break that down again. Okay, so I got the point right here. Point comes off the ball. You can see he gets knocked back a little bit. Okay, but he's fighting for that 1x1 or for that guy's 3. Okay, he gets it. Boom, we're good. Okay, let's look at the number 3 receiver right here. Okay, he's looking for next most dangerous defender. Bam, finds him, secures the 3. Bang, still working. Love it. Getting 15 yards on a perimeter RPO. Okay, so let's talk about marrying it all together. Okay, so you can go 2/3, 3/2, and 3/3. So what is this? This is just a drill, just drill tape. It allows the guys to compete. Big fan of competition. Anytime you can get the competitive juices flowing, get it flowing. Okay, and this also is a really good time as a coach for you to like step back and let the guys figure it out themselves. You know, because they'll see different looks, they'll see different roles, they'll see different reactions, and you know, it really forces them to figure it out on the fly. Because during the game, we're not going to be out there. It allows for physicality. I love physicality. If you're going to play receiver for me, you have to be physical. You have to be willing to block. In my opinion, this is the best preparation for perimeter RPOs. Okay, and then the last point, each side, so offense and defense is going to call their own their calls, right? So we're going to mix it up between bubble, now screen, are we bunched, are we split out, different things like that. Okay, and then defense is calling different calls based off of what they see formationally. Maybe you want to mix in, you know, down and distance into it, different scenarios. Okay, but the last little portion of that last point is to keep each other honest, right? So DBs, they might be cheating the drill, right? It's a drill. People cheat drills. They might be cheating the drill. So maybe mix in, you know, we call it ango. Maybe mix in an ango. Okay, so let's watch it. This clip is about 1.5 minutes long. Okay, and it's just 2/2 starting out, and you're just throwing the perimeter screen, and the guy who's blocking is sorting things out, trying to get from a 2 to a 3, working on bucket stepping. Okay, and finding the most dangerous man to that 1x1. Okay, and I'll just let this clip roll. You'll see some good clips. You might see some bad clips. But like I said, it forces the guys to figure things out on the fly, and it allows for some competition, which that's always great. Switching to a 3x set. Okay, so now we're going 2/3. You can get to it when it's 3/3. You can even go 3/2. Personally, I'm a fan of oh, this is kind of bad angles. Personally, I'm a fan of giving the defense the advantage. I want to keep this rolling because there's a smoke screen in here somewhere, or an ango. Crap. Keeps buffering. Yeah, but look, bite and strike is good there, and we're both working, right? You can't get from that 2 to a 3. Just wash the dude out. Just wash him out. Just wash him out. Okay, you can see it there too. Okay, because ultimately we're going to be fine if everybody's working outside. If everybody's working outside, we're going to be in good company. Okay, because we're just trying to stay away from that trash. You're in a bad position. Right here, boom, smoke screen, right? You can see DBs triggering like crazy. Man, keep them honest. Keep them honest. Okay, so here's some clips of us doing it here. This was like early when we first installed it. Okay, so it's not the best. Early when we first installed it, but I mean it's good to get out there, go good on good, get the competitive juices flowing, right? Like you guys see that now screen right there. You know, but this helped us out a lot. Like doing this early on, you know, it allowed us to what's the word I'm looking for? It allowed us to have a lot of teach tape and really show the guys, you know, kind of what we're looking for. So like right here, if I've got to get to the 1x1, how am I going to get to the 1x1, right? Number 11. How am I going to get to the 1x1 if I'm behind the guy catching the ball when the 1x1 is in front of the guy catching the ball? And then like right here, this crawfish bubble, like I've got to work for some depth. I'm right on the LOS. You know, we need better depth out of both of them, right? Because he doesn't get 1 yard in front of either. He's at 0. Right? So what are we missing here? Okay. Biggest thing you see we're missing is the freaking bite and strike. Right? I want to anchor down, freaking hit with my face, have my hands tight, roll my hips through, freaking power clean it. Okay, we're missing that here. But like I told you guys, like, you know, this is early on and we implemented, you know, this was really good teach tape. And then boom, once again, keep them honest. Okay. They pick our signals. So they saw this coming. And I don't know if y'all can see this. Number 8 up top, ball's completed. Right, number 3 in here, boom, bam, ball's completed right there. I threw the ball. QB1, baby. All right, just more clips of it. Just different things you're looking for. So this is a show and presence deal, right? Marrying it all together. You're going to see all different scenarios out of this, out of all those slides. Okay, so we're going to strike right here. Okay, so this guy, number 3, okay, what would I love him to do? I would love for him to get hands on this guy, keep his eyes upfield. Neither one of these dudes are immediate threats. If our goal is a 5x1, we're looking to get right here. These guys are, 8 yards away from that? Freaking show presence. Don't go chase nobody. But what did this offer for? Great teach tape, great learning tape. And we did a really good job of it throughout the season, you know, after this. I think that's enough. Okay, so this is the last clip, man. This just goes to show that you know, if all else fails, if your guys don't get the block, if you have a Power 4 schools all-time leading reception and reception yard leader, you don't need nobody to block. Watch, we don't get any block secured here. But like I said, this guy's playing for the Rams. 5'8", maybe 160. We don't get any perimeter blocks. And we are just striking up the band. Okay, Grant, I don't. Do you need me to stop sharing my screen?
No, you're good. You're good doing what you're doing now. The only question that we had in the comments was, if you could pick one everyday drill to do, what would it be?
If I could pick one everyday drill to do, if you have time for it and you have the bodies for it, man, I really think whatever your game plan is, you know, RPO wise going into that week, just do 2 over 3, 3 over 2, 3 over 3. Just do that with whatever you have game plan for that week and just rep that week. Like I said, you guys saw on the slides, like that's the best drill in my opinion, because it's as close to an in-game scenario as you're going to get. You know, all the other drills I showed you are kind of like, you know, very base breaking down perimeter blocking on an RPO. If I could every single day I would do that. A really good one is, you saw it in the walkthrough drill. Um, Getting the guys and you can do it in pads. It doesn't matter. It could be an indie drill. Getting the guys to understand when we were going through the basketball portion, getting them to understand the defenses, right? So they take that bucket step, then they get in that UAP, they start playing basketball, okay, and they're reading the defense and seeing who ends up being the most dangerous defender. That one is really good too, because as I've said for what 4 or 5 times now, pre-snap perception is not post-snap reality, right? So those would probably be the two I would say. Just those two. And I know you asked for one, and the crown is going to go to the 3-over-3, 2-over-2, all
Mhm.
that. But anything you can do to implement physicality, that's going to be great, because what that does is, it teaches your guys to not back down. So whether that's a 1-man sled, a 5-man sled, 2-man sled, whether it's that board drill, which you're going to have to modify, because if UIL sees that, they're going to get upset. um, but yeah, sorry, that was kind of
Yeah.
an open-ended answer.
Yeah, no, I like what you said about the basketball thing too, because anytime you can compare it to another sport, probably a lot of your guys like Highlands probably play basketball too, especially receivers, like a skill position. So anytime you can translate it to another sport or give a good analogy like that, like it just makes it click. So I really like that. But yeah, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you coming on today, teaching us about perimeter blocking and RPOs, and showing us how you do it at the D1 level, at the 6A level. The film, the drills, and the way you explained it were really good things. I think any coach watching this could take it back immediately and do those things tomorrow. So thank you for being generous with your time. Wish you the best of luck this season at Lake Highlands. We're excited to watch it.
Yeah, really quick, for anybody that's on there, I'm not anybody important, but if you did happen to get like a nugget or you want to talk some more about it, that's my cell phone number. That is my email. That is my Twitter. Um, I'm an open book. Call me anytime. Email me anytime. Actually, text me. I don't really check my emails. Hopefully, my boss doesn't see that or hear that. But yeah, open book. I'm open to talk ball whenever. I'm open to learn. Everybody knows that this industry is just networking and people getting ideas from other people. I'm not saying my way is better than anybody else's. This is just what I learned to believe in. Grant, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate One Back, and this. I had a great time doing this.
Yeah, thank you for coming on again. And coaches, thank you for tuning into the One Back Breakdown Show. We'll see you next time.